keep going?
If you want, anytime. You just.
Great, thank you, Mr. Coulter, for being here.
Thank you.
So first off, for those who are not well acquainted with HLM, could you give us a brief overview of your company?
Yes, Houston Lake Mining is a company that's listed on the Toronto Venture Exchange. We have been in the mining business since 2010 or earlier. We used to be in gold and palladium, but the company decided to pursue the pegmatite, which is a host rock for lithium and tantalum and cesium. And we decided to pursue those interests, and we sold off our gold and palladium interest to various companies.
Okay. So we know that lithium these days is a hot field to invest in. What exactly do you think is the driving force behind the lithium demand? And can you forecast the supply and demand in the future market?
Very good question, very tough question to answer. The lithium supply in this market is driven by, obviously, if anybody's reading the newspapers and watching TV, it's driven by the batteries. Can we make a battery-grade lithium? Absolutely. Our natural market is for the ceramic grade industry and the specialty glass industry. Every stovetop, for example, that you have in any household has lithium in it. Samsung is the largest manufacturer of stovetops. Corning comes to mind, which is part of Dow Chemical. They make products that go into the oven, and this is why you could spill water onto a stovetop and it doesn't shatter, or you could take a Corning pot with a lid and put it in cold water, it doesn't break. So lithium is used for that. That's a huge vertical, about as big as, it used to be larger than batteries, now it's second largest use. Lithium is also used in medicine. The classic example is lithium tablets for manic depressive people. Lithium is also used in rocketry as an accelerant, because refined lithium exposed to oxygen will react very explosively to the oxygen, and so it allows the rocket to move faster or accelerate faster. And of course you have the battery side.
Okay, and so in the very important element overall, in the future, where do you see the most demand for this element in the market?
As the battery side takes a lot of the oxygen, excuse the pun, out of the market by just being so dominant, the ceramic grade industry is going to be less served by lithium. So as a strategy, because it is less expensive to make a ceramic grade appropriate lithium product versus a battery grade product, it is easy for us to pursue the ceramic grade industry at a less of a capital cost. We can investment spend anywhere with a used concentrator between $10 and $20 million versus spending like Nemaska $300, $400, $500 million to make a chemical plant, to build a plant that will produce a hydroxide that will be used for batteries.
So the goal is to become a fully integrated lithium and tantalum producer, correct?
Yes, we have very high grades of tantalum, and that's a byproduct, and it's a natural byproduct, which is ideal in our mine. Tantalum, specific weight is very heavy, so it's like lead. So as we do a separation, the lead will fall to the bottom, the lithium will float to the top, because it's one of the fourth or fifth lightest elements on the periodic table.
And that's how you plan to integrate these two processes?
Initially, just to start making money, and we do that because what we want to do is de-risk our asset. In other words, shareholders that have put money into it, we want to start making money early on, and figure out what the market is for our lithium, as opposed to spending $300 million and finding out that no one wants to buy it.
Right.
So we do this out of respect to the shareholders.
Okay. Okay, so when Houston Lake attends the 8th Lithium Supply and Market Conference in the US this month, what expectations do you hold for an event such as this that is so big for the lithium industry as a whole?
It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, there'll be a lot of Canadian companies there, and I'm not trying to put down our competition, and they're not even competition. We have the highest grade lithium asset in North America. At surface, some of our channel samples have shown over 4.4% lithium oxide. We have a 43101 measured and indicated asset that is 1.8%. Our expectation level is just to come out of there wiser, as opposed to thinking that we're going to make a huge sale. Everybody's out there selling the battery aspect of lithium without, and the public doesn't realize that that is the riskiest part of the business going forward. And we would rather walk before we run and be the last man standing at the end of the day when all the smoke clears from a lot of lithium assets that just didn't have the grades and didn't have the volume to sustain a $500 million investment spend.
Okay, so currently, do you feel that HIM's stock price is being overvalued or undervalued compared to the competition?
Good question. I would say that we're at the low end of the valuation right now. Given where we are, I think our stock price should be, or could be, anywhere between 50 and maybe 70 cents, but that would be a good range. Where we are right now is a little bit low, but it's because we're not producing news for the sake of news. We're just presenting realities, and that perhaps doesn't sell as well as if you announce that you can make a battery grade lithium asset, and in reality you're not going to, or you find out you can't.
Right.
So we would rather be realistic. And again, it comes down to respecting your shareholders.
So would you say that's one of the advantages, competitive advantages that HLM possesses above its competitors? And as well as what are some of the future advantages that you think HLM will be able to gain in the market?
Well, one of our largest advantages that we have in the market is management. For example, the largest shareholder, I'm a large shareholder. There are two or three that own and control about 40% of the stock of Houston Lake Mining. None of us take salaries. We take stock in lieu of compensation. So we're at the same risk level as the shareholders are. So if the shareholder loses, we lose. That's a huge advantage that we have. Most companies aren't like that. The other advantage is we have a very high grade lithium asset, so we have a multitude of choices ahead of us. We can be a battery grade, we can be a ceramic grade, we can be an industrial glass producer. We have so many options because our grade is so high, and it's carried by spodumene, which is a natural mineral that allows us to address the ceramic grade industry in a very natural way, because when you buy lithium and you have spodumene, basically you're shipping twice as much as anybody else would. You have twice the value, what I'm saying.
Okay, great. So back to your company's leading project, the PAC Lithium project. Could you give us some more information about the project's development stage and upcoming milestones?
Upcoming milestones. We announced a bulk sample, a 300-ton bulk sample, which is en route, and the client that is purchasing this bulk sample is a very well-known multinational U.S. corporation operating out of Europe, and they have been to Houston Lake Mining twice, at least twice now, where they have come to look at our mine. They asked for a 10-kilogram sample, then a 100-kilogram sample. They tested our lithium product in their factory, and we have very natural, low inherent iron, which is perfect for the ceramic grade industry as well as for the battery grade industry. So our product really suits a lot of verticals, whereas a lot of the people that are now in the news, in the lithium news, they have a pedalite and don't necessarily, we can do everything, they can only do one. And that's where we have a big advantage.
Okay.
And we are very patient people.
Right. Okay, so finally I want to ask, is there anything more you'd like potential investors to know about HLM that I haven't asked yet?
Yeah, we're very cautious with spending money. We don't spend money on market makers. I do that. I'm the CEO. I'm like the greeter at Walmart. And I'm the one that goes out there and hosts lunch every day to tell the story. And we find that our shares are our most precious commodity, so we don't spend money easily. We have an 8 million ton resource. We can easily move that to 16 million or to 30 million. But we would have to spend $5-6 million doing that, and the market's not going to give us that money back. So we'd have to issue more shares. So to benefit everybody, including the shareholders, it's better for us to not spend that money because it doesn't accomplish anything.
So you're very personally vested.
We're big now. To make us a little bit bigger or double bigger, no one's going to come and pay us extra for it.
Right.
So I think we're very good. We're very good at reading the market. And again, we talk about advantages. The Walker family is the major shareholder of Houston Lake Mining. They own a company called Conspec, which is a drill blast mining company. They make their own explosives. They understand mining. Trevor Walker, our president, grew up in diapers. For the first time, he was wearing diapers when he pushed a button and boom. So we all understand the business very, very well. So we don't have to go to somebody else to figure out how to do it. We know that. A lot of companies don't have that advantage.
Okay. Great. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. That's everything.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.